Dr. Benjamin Oluwatosin. I'm the executive director and founder of the Benjamin Oluwajebitu Foundation. And what we have done and what we do in the last few years is using our skills, our resources to take healthcare to the unreached parts of Nigeria and Africa. So we run a foundation that does free surgeries for indigent people. We've done over 6,500 free surgeries in 17 states in Nigeria. And the focus is on fibroids, hernias, lipomas, and breast lumps. One of the reasons why we started this was after my accident in 2016. On my way home from work, a drunken driver ran into my car and crushed my car and broke my right leg in 3 places. I, as a doctor, was rushed to a big hospital in Lagos, and I was left on the floor for 5 hours. Nobody attended to me. In that quagmire of pain and about to die, I got a divine instruction and inspiration from God to turn my pain into passion. So that was when I got an inspiration to go to rural areas, use my skills and my resources to do free studies for poor people. Because love is the greatest currency you can spend. Money is just a perception. So we're using love to change the healthcare space that is driven by compassion and driven by love. That's what we do, sir.
Excellent. We'll come back to your work, but let's go back in time. Let's go back to your childhood, where you were born, what you grew up in, what your motivations were, who your parents are, what primary or secondary schools you went to, any interesting stories in between that motivated you apart from the calling from God. Let's go back that way and start from the beginning. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm a first child. My parents got married, but they had children. So they went on the
Sorry,
mountains.
it froze. So you are the first child. Your parents got married.
Yes.
That's where we stopped.
Yes. Okay, so they had delay having children after they got married. So they were trying to just get babies, and they went to the mountain to pray somewhere in Akure, and they prayed, and God answered them, and I came. My father calls me Oluwatosin, which means God is worthy to be worshipped. So my parents are very, very godly people. My father said to me, he said, one of the principles of life is showing love and impacting your community. One of the things he taught me as a person before he went to be with the Lord. And I remember my mother telling me when I was in secondary school, I went to Victoria Children's School in Aguda, Surulere, and I went to Saudi High School in Falulu. My mother told me, I remember my mother telling me that if I would solve 15 math questions every day, then I'll be a math guru. So I made sure every day in our lives as a young boy, since when I was about 7 to about 15, we read in our house at least 6 hours every day. We'll read, my mother made sure we solve 15 math questions every day. So I'd learned hard work, I'd learned how to read as a young boy, because she told us that what will make your success longer lasting is knowledge. So we invested our lives then in knowledge and in prayer. So as a young boy, that was the focal point of my thinking. I had got parents that believed in hard work, didn't believe in shortcuts. It was about when you work hard, you get results. And that took me into the best university in Nigeria, the University of First Choice and Nation's Pride, University of Lagos, studied medicine and surgery. And in my time in school, I remembered many trials, many things, but I learned one thing very, very important, that the only thing that would change the healthcare space is when the fact of the nobility of the work as medical doctor is placed before money, is placed before appearance. So you must love the job and you must want to change the healthcare space. So in my mind, in my spirit, I became a very hardworking doctor, compassionate doctor, loved my job and everything, So that's how I grew up as a young boy, as a young person. When I became doctor fully, that's what I've been doing. I served in the north, in Ayigba, in Kogi State. as a youth corper, I will go to rural communities. I spend my CD, my CDS community development services in rural communities, helping them with surgeries, helping them with healthcare. I remember in 2009 2008, I had to go to communities in Nigeria telling them about HIV. Then HIV just came out. They didn't know about it. They thought it was a deadly attack from their families and their friends. I started telling them about HIV. I remember one of the days in village, I tested over 500 patients and got them enrolled into free medicals, free medicines for HIV drugs. So it's been my passion for a long time. But my accident just made that passion become a real assignment for me. That this is what I'm meant to do in my world. This is the purpose of my life. And to God be the glory, is gratifying, and I'm enjoying myself, impacting lives and going through our communities, making people's life and giving them a new story again. Thank you.
So you were driving home from work. Out
Yes,
of
sir.
nowhere, is suddenly you get this drunk driver
Yes, head-on collision, sir.
head on. Which area of Lagos was this?
Akonwojo. I was 5 minutes away from my house. I was just about to turn into my house, into my street. It
Yes.
just came on. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa! It was. I can't explain the kind of trauma, the kind of thing I went through, sir. It was devastating. It was the first time I had an accident in my life. I was just on my lane. I didn't know what happened to me, and I tried to stand up. So the car destroyed the point. The engine of the car, it left the chassis, and the engine came into my car. Because then I was driving an Honda Accord, a smaller one. The guy that was driving on an island that has this iron part in front of it. So the
Yes.
collision was very. People thought I was even dead in the car. My wife came, and my wife was just in tears. And I said, just take me to the nearest hospital. And they took me to a very big hospital. I won't mention the name here, but
Thank you.
I was feeling that as a doctor, sir, what I went through, the ordeal I went through as a doctor is quite alarming. They're just telling me that there's no bed space. I should go to another hospital for 4 hours. Until my wife sent a message on my phone to the WhatsApp group of my classmates that Benjamin is dying here. Can somebody help? That was when my friends came and started helping me after 4 hours. So if that's kind of thing that can happen to a doctor in this environment, it means what happens to people that are in rural areas that don't have access to healthcare.
Yes.
So we've been to villages that I've not seen doctors in 20, 10 years. I'm telling you the truth, and you will weep in tears that are these people living here and there's no governance, there's no government, there's no humanity in this place. When a place called Bekwara is in Cross River. Bekwara is an hour from Cameroon, 6 hours from Calabar. Is a community in Cross River. Because it's on the north of Cross River, it's very far from the south. The south is where the capital is. So access to healthcare, access to governance there is very, 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 very limited because to travel from within that place alone is 6 hours. So imagine you in a particular state, you're going from point A to point B and using 6 hours. You probably don't want to go there unless there's an election. So that's
Mm.
that's when that's when I go to that place when there's election. But when I went there with my team, sir, you see women having fibroids for 15, 20 years, 25 years, that they've just decided to die like that because they don't have access to healthcare. They were able to do 201 surgeries in 11 days. I slept only 2 hours in 11 days. And I realized that the joy for me, sir, is that those lives were touched. Those lives, they kept praying for me. They kept praying for my team. We've gone to villages that will spend 35 hours on the road, no accident, no kidnapping, no shooting, no death. It's because God is backing up this vision and it's giving us wonderful results. Thank you.
Tell us a bit about fibroids. Not many people really know what fibroids are and what the impact is on the human body. Can you just explain to us briefly what fibroids are and how they develop in the human body, please?
Okay, sir. So fibroids are non-cancerous benign tumors that grows in the womb of women. So it's non-cancerous. It's benign. but they can grow as big as 3 basketballs, 4 basketballs, because they have capacity to grow because they're in the womb. So think about a womb carrying 4 children, 5 children. That's how big these fibroids can grow. They are not cancerous. That means they don't spread to other part of the body, but their size can affect other parts of the body. So let me give you a scenario, sir. If somebody has a very large fibroid and is resting on the ureters, ureters are what connects the kidneys to the bladder. It means that instead of the urine that is formed in the bladder to come down to that is formed in the kidney to come down to the bladder, there's a usual called backflow because the big fibroid is resting on the ureters. So they have what we call reflux adenonephrosis. So instead of the urine coming down to the bladder, it stays up in the kidney because why? There's a big mass blocking the flow of urine from that bladder into from that kidney into the bladder. So those are the symptoms you see. So what are the symptoms you see for fibroid? Very simple symptoms. If your menstrual flow used to be 3 days before, and it has increased from 3 days to 5 to 6 to 7 days, and it comes out with clots, we call that one menorrhagia. It means increased increased menstrual flow that is accompanied with clots of blood. So you used to use 1 pad or 2 pads before. Now you use 3 or 4, 5 pads every day because you are continuously bleeding. That's one of the symptoms of fibroids. Number two is that this fibroids can cause a lot of severe pain during menstrual flow. So you have a lot of pain. The pains are excruciating, leads to back pain, and it reduces the quality of life. So imagine somebody bleeding every day, sir, every day, and it loses a lot of blood. Their quality of life is very, very low. They're very anemic. They're very tired. So they can't climb staircase anymore. They are tired because they are anemic. Those are the symptoms of anemia. And because fibroids are very, 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 they are more predisposed in black people, Africans, black Americans, black Hispanics, black people. We don't know why, but it's predominantly found in black people. And it's one of the leading cause of infertility in Africa because 2 out of every 7 women in Africa has a fibroid. So it depends on where the fibroid is now. What are the sizes of the fibroid? Where is it located? We have 4 locations for the fibroid. We have subserous fibroids, we have intramural fibroids, we have submucous fibroids, and we have pedunculated fibroids. These fibroids are, are named according to how they are positioned in the womb. So if it is inside the womb, endometrium, it's called intramural, inside. And that one is one of the kind of fiber that causes a lot of infertility. You see women saying that when they make husbands, the sperm always flows back out. Why? Because there's no space for the sperm to go again because there's a particular big fibroid blocking and staying just at the intramural position. So the sperm cannot go in. It's just blocking the flow of the seminal fluid. So that's intramural. Submucous fibroid is in the muscle of the uterus, causes a lot of pain, causes a lot of increase in flow. Then we have what we call subserous fibroid. Subserous fibroid are fibroids that is at the wall outside the womb, causes what we call arbitral abortion. So if the fibroid, so imagine your mind, sir. You have a baby that is about the size of size of a granite. You now have a fibroid the size of a coconut. How can you expect the size of the granite to be able to fight a coconut? Is impossible. The granite is the baby, the coconut is the fibroid. You can imagine how hard the coconut is. So no matter how much the baby grows, what happens? It will come down. So you have people having, they say that, doctor, I was pregnant and 6 to 7 weeks I lost the baby. Why did I lose the baby? I had an abortion. Why do I have an abortion? Because there's a big fibroid sitting on top of the uterus called a subserous fibroid. Those are the kind of fibroids. Those are the symptoms we have in fibroid, and they're very peculiar to Africans, Black Americans, Black Hispanics, Black people.
Right. I want to go back to the University of Lagos because you mentioned the University of Lagos being the best university in Nigeria. Talk me, please, through what made you decide to read medicine? What was the motivation about it, apart from obviously being a studious person? Um, why did you decide medicine was the best? What facilities did you have in the university that helped you along the path? And I'm sure you probably studied in Luth, or maybe you did your, I told you there's a
Yeah,
word for it you guys use, housemanship or something like that. Talk us through that part of your life.
housemanship.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, talk us through that
Okay.
part of your life.
So yes. So in when I was in secondary school, I'd I'd read the biology. We call that book call it the biology as functional approach biology, and um, the new biology. I'd read the books back, front and back. I'd read it like four times back to back, and I knew every organ in the body. And my mother said to me, and I was health prefect in the secondary school. When somebody had any injury, I felt very, very bad. I'll go to the field where we're playing football. I'll dress them up, and I will do everything to make them feel comfortable. And my mother told me that when I was young, I used to see that nursery rhyme. I'm a doctor in my country. Everybody knows me well. If you look me up and down, you will
You
know that it's
know
true.
that is true.
And I sang that song. So I sang that song over and over again as a young boy. Even when she told me to change to engineer or to lawyer, I also say I'm a doctor in my country. So they knew I was called to be a medical doctor. So when I got into University of Lagos, it was the best experience of my life. I had the best kind of teachers, kind of mentors that were compassionate to delivering the kind of knowledge we needed to be doctors. I had great teachers that we had we had a one-on-one session that made me, Benjamin, to realize that this is my calling because I wanted to be like them. You know, you know that aura of coming to a room and you know what exactly is wrong with a patient, and the patient can get help. And a patient that was very sick in 2 days, and the next day they get the help and they are well. For me, it was like a transformation. You know that kind of thing that you're just you see somebody that is almost dying, and somebody walks in and says, "Oh, sorry, man, this is the problem you have. We'll take you into the theater now, and we're going to solve the problem." And the person that is almost dying just 2 days ago is now alive and well. It was very fascinating for me. I realized that a custodian of life with dexterity, with finesse, with love and compassion. So Unilag taught me those things, and I gained experience from house job in Unilag because in Luth I had fantastic lecturers. Sir, when I was doing house job, I remember that I'd learned how to set an IV line. That if nobody gets the IV line in the old Luth, they will say go and look for Benjamin. I would sit down with the line and I would get the line until I get it. So I was very compassionate. I was very passionate about my job. I loved the learning environment. It was very exciting to see your lecturers come into the room, smell very, very nice, look very, very great, and they had a lot of knowledge to pass across to us. And we learned every day. That's the joy. That's the joy for me. That's the compassion for me.
Excellent. So you've done in a very short period over 6,500 operations in hernia, in fibroids, in lymphoma, is it? You also do those kind of
Like,
surgeries.
like, like, like,
Like
like, lipoma.
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 What is lipoma?
Not, not lymphoma.
Yeah.
So lipoma is a fatty swelling on the body that is painless. It's painless, but it's cosmetic. It is because you see people having lump on their head,
Oh,
lump on their
yes.
backs, lump on. It's just like a yes, just like a fatty swelling.
Yes.
Very, very rubbly. It's very movable, but it's painless. It's just they're disfiguring their face, disfiguring their arms, disfiguring their back. So that's called a lipoma. It's painless, not a lymphoma. A lymphoma is a cancer. Either it's a pocket lymphoma or an Hodgkin's lymphoma. But what we do
Oh.
is lipomas that are non-cancerous. They're just cosmetic surgery that we do. We take out the mass in the face and give them a very nice cosmetic surgery again.
So tell us about your tell us about your I understand that you have a leadership program from HLA and you are the medical director of Twinex Medical Center. Tell us about your medical center. Tell the world about what you do, how you managed to organize that, what motivated you, how you sponsor that, because you do a lot of work for people. You like to give back to society, which is fantastic. But tell us how you secure funds, how you are able to fulfill that mission.
So I'm medical director of Students Medical Center, and I'm also the executive director of Benjamin Olode. So that's the Olode Foundation. The BOF is a foundation, is the work we do for free. So Tunex Medical Center is our hospital, is my medical center that 80% of what we make in the hospital is what we use to run the foundation. You know why? Most
Tell.
people, I realize that two things are the problem of women that have fibroids: fear and fund. I call them the two F's. The two F's. One is fear, the other one is fund. There's so many fallacies, so many drugs. People say if you take these medicines about concussion, you will shrink the fibroid, you will pass out the fiber from your bum. So those fallacies allow the fibroid to grow too much, and because fibroid surgery is very expensive, the fear, the fund makes them not come for surgery. So one of our plug-in at Tunes Medical Center is to offer affordable quality care to women and to people. Not expensive, very affordable. But in that affordability, 80% of our profit from that place to go to rural communities and do free surgeries. Or in Nigeria, it's not a place, it's not people don't like to give in Nigeria, but we love to obey our assignment. We're written to churches, written to mosques, written to banks, to corporate organizations. We don't get support. Well, maybe I don't know why we're not getting support, but the impact of the prayers, have helped those rural communities. We've been to Cross River, we've been to River State, we've been to Delta State 3 or 4 times, we've been to Akwa Ibom, we've been to Ondo State, we've been to Oyo State, we've been to Lagos State. We're able to help the Lagos State government in their first 100 days in office. We're supposed to do 100 free studies for the governor in first 100 days, but when we got to do and saw the crowd, we had to do 164 surgeries to impact the people because it was a mammoth crowd in the place. So for us, it's about changing the healthcare space with love and compassion. Because of the kind of work we have done and the impact, people now know us as a place of grace, a place of answer to the healthcare problem, and we're not very expensive. So in Tunex Medical Center, we offer medical treatment, we offer surgical treatment, we offer family treatment that is quite affordable, that is quality, that is valuable. But we make everything we make from that place. It's a protocol with management. 80% of it goes into the foundation that will take to rural communities for doing free surgeries. That's how we fund it. But we're open to people to help us. That's how we fund it presently. We're hoping that people can see what we're doing, they can support us, so we can reach more people. We've not been to the north before because of the crisis in the north. But we're hoping that if the crisis go down, we can start our free studies in Gombe. Then from Gombe, we'll go to Bauchi, then Kaduna, that kind of thing. Because the calls we receive every day and the inquiries every day is in their thousands. People because people are going through a lot of things, and we cannot help everybody for now because we don't have the funding yet. But we believe God and we're very positive that as the year goes by, we'll get more support, we'll get people to see what we're doing, and they can be a blessing to the lives of those people that will continue to continually pray and pray for them. Thank you, sir.
We will definitely spread this podcast about. Thank goodness that part of the things we do is to also link professionals in your field who are in diaspora to people like you and see if they can help in collaborating, see if they can help in helping your foundation, helping your medical center provide maybe more experience and education. This is where I'm now coming into. The education on fibroids is very limited in our country. What do you suggest can be done about this education? Does the government get involved, or is it a case of going to the schools or the locales? How can we impact on reaching these women and stopping them from being afraid of the 2 Fs?
I appreciate what you're doing, Sam. Mr. David. This is what you're doing today. This conversation is very important, and I think we should have it more regularly. And just focus sometimes on just the fibroid and just educate people and just throw it open to it everywhere, because people are not really informed. And when you're not informed, you are deformed. Most times imagine you're at a bus stop, you're hearing the same thing from one guy in a car, and keep saying, if you take this medicine will help you, it will cure fibroid, it will cure gonorrhea, it will cure syphilis, and that's what they hear every day. So in that instance, their psyche is tuned to that thing they hear every day, so they don't want to listen to any other thing that is very, very informative. So but what we need to do is to increase the education and take this information we are sharing today to every nook and part of this country. We talk, is on radio, is on the internet, is on Facebook, is on Twitter, is on Instagram, is on LinkedIn, is everywhere, is on podcast. People need to hear it, because you know why? They are afraid because they hear the wrong information more. So when they start hearing the right information, it start knocking away their fear. They start having faith to come out to get help and get their surgeries done. So I appreciate what you're doing, sir. But we need to do more of education, right information, right educationists, and right avenue. Sometimes we need to say that give information in different languages, in Yoruba, in Igbo, in Pidgin, in Hausa, so that everybody can start getting information. Because I bet of you, these guys selling about medicines, selling about concussion, they've milked our people a lot. They've milked them. They know in their mind that this thing cannot work, but because of the fear they have, they're using over their mind and taking money off them. That's what they're doing, sir.
So the government, what do you suggest to the governments of various states and of the federation? How can they impact? This is an opportunity to also reach out to them. For example, now I have a possibility of sending this podcast to the governor of Edo State, which is where I come from, because I believe it's a positive thing that might help him. So reach out to them, tell them what they should hear, tell them how they can help in impacting in the educating of their female citizens.
Okay, thank you very much. I am very passionate about this question, and I will start this way. I keep saying the baseline for change in our country is love and compassion. If you love your people, you give them good roads. If you love your people, you give them education. Because you can't sleep on 2 beds at the same time. You can't drive 2 cars at the same time. You can't wear 2 suits at the same time. So all these are amassing wealth, amassing properties that will not value and impact the people. Is all work in futility. If our governors will sit down and think intuitively that what after 4 years I'm done, what will I be known for as a value to my people? What will people say about me when I'm done? It's important people think that way, because healthcare is the baseline of the GDP. When you have an healthy nation, you have a more working class nation, then people can work well and make money for the government or for the people. But if you don't place, imagine, sir, there are some rural areas that don't have a primary care health center, no doctor in that village, no doctor, no nurse, no midwife in that village, because there's no plan for them. So I am soliciting for government to please use their Ministry of Women Affairs very effectively to reach out to women and give them hope and vision. A Ministry of Health putting educating women on fibroid as part of a curriculum, a part of the curriculum of curriculum in biology, curriculum in science, so the ladies can start knowing what they need to do, how they need to react, what they need to see when these things come up. And please dissuade every. Why will a NAFDAC, sir? Why will NAFDAC or anybody? Why would NAFDAC approve a drug that you know that this drug will not work for our patient? Why you approve it? Because that particular drug company has paid the particular money, the particular service charge for them to bring their drugs to Nigeria. You just take the money from them. Have you asked the patients using those drugs, is this drugs effective? Why we still having them bring it to our company? Because they said that we have 200 million people and they calculate their profit by the number of people we have in Nigeria, but not the effectiveness of the outcome. So, sir, it's important we start putting ourselves in the shoes and thinking that it can be our sisters, it can be our mothers, it can be our children, it can be our wife, because this thing is in our community. Let the government stand up to the occasion and be involved in educating people and writing right policies to affect our women. Hillary Clinton says, when you save a woman, you save a nation. It's important that women are taken care of so our nation, Nigeria, can be great again. Thank you, Mr. David.
Excellent. So, I understand you were in a radio show earlier this week to talk about fibroids. Just as we have professional surgeons like you, we do also have quack surgeons unfortunately, in our dear nation. You gave a perfect example of that guy who's selling a concussion at the bus stop, who is selling a concussion in the buses. He knows that he can prey on the uneducated people. He knows that he can make profit from selling fake goods to our people. Now, in the case of that lady, I'm not too conversant with how, unfortunately, she lost her life. But if you are, tell us a bit about that and how we can differentiate between the quacks and the genuine doctors out there, how we can get rid of these money-driven quacks. This is what I call them, because it's all about trying to make money rather than helping the polity.
Okay, Mr. David, I don't have full what happened to the lady, but I'll just talk generally about questions when you are going for a surgery. It's important as patients to ask the right questions. For example, I tell people, I said, if you play football 30 weeks, 30 minutes in a week, and you play football 8 hours a week, who will be a better footballer, sir? The 8 hours a week. So
Yes.
if somebody had done fibroid surgeries that have done 30 in a week, and somebody that have done one in 2 months, you can't compare their skill set because the one has seen more of the cases and has seen more people. So you ask question like, sorry sir, how many of these cases have you done before? What is the success rate? What kind of complication that can come from this surgery? Which one have you managed before? How do you manage it? Do you have a standby blood bank? Is the blood bank available? Can I see it? How many days am I going to spend in the hospital? What are my expectations? Am I here for 3-4 days? What happens if I'm there after 4-5 days? What is the cost of the surgery? Can I get a breakdown of the cost? What are these costs meant to be? Can I have my mother or my brother come to me to sit down with me and also ask additional questions so we're all clear as a family? Because it's important when you're going for surgery, or when you're going for this kind of surgery, there's a support so that you're not asking questions and you're not asking questions that you're not getting answers for. You have a family documenting the question and also helping you ask questions that you need to ask so that we're all together in the process of healthcare. So it's important that you understand clearly that surgery is a very deep, is a very a deep process. It takes a lot of grace, takes a lot of communication, and we have to start asking the right questions. Very important. And sometimes I've told people that it is not about the facade or the panache or the aesthetics of the building, of the place, of the structure that typifies the quality of service. No, it's about the passion, about the quality of skill, and the compassion of the doctors performing the surgery that also matters. So those things are very, so you have those are very important. So you be able to you be able to merge the quality and the passion and the grace together.
Excellent. Please tell us a bit about your foundation, the BOF Foundation. What does BOF mean? I know you've told us you've been to several places in Nigeria, but tell us where you intend to go with the BOF Foundation. Tell us what you intend to, what benefits it will make to our people in Nigeria. There's a simple reason I'm asking. You told me a few minutes ago that the rural areas have no health care at all. Now, luckily, there's a group in Canada who have taken this on board and have come out with a scheme called Health for Nigeria, where they set up small community centers with a nurse in rural areas. They've recently set up quite a few in Ekiti State. So I'm hoping that at the end of our conversation, I'm able to link Health for Nigeria to the BOF Foundation to see if we can start something. So please let us know a bit about the foundation.
Okay, so our foundation, our aim is to provide healthcare free for indigent people in low income areas. And as I've said, going to over 17 states in Nigeria. Our long-term goal is to have BOF hospitals in the 5 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, where people can come in for surgeries free of charge, or we have funding. You just come in I would say every people in the northwest come into this particular place and have your surgeries done periodically in the year. Why? What would that help us do? It will help us reduce, increase the quality of life, reduce the morbidity of sicknesses, and people can get well on time. With that vision, we have BOF hospitals in every locality, in every geopolitical zone, fully furnished, where people cannot come in, volunteers from America, volunteers from Nigeria, from South Africa can come in periodically to that hospital to perform surgeries for people in Nigeria, and we're impacting and showing more love. The baseline for us, Mr. David, is that what can change the healthcare space is when love is the baseline of the work we do. And in BOF, love is the fundamental core of the work we do. Only love drives us. Because I explained Dr. Benjamin standing for 24 hours doing 20 surgeries without sleeping. There are days I've stood from Monday to Wednesday operating people, Mr. David, without sleeping. Only love can drive that, and only grace can give you the opportunity. So for us, sir, is that we hope and pray in the nearest future we have BOF hospitals in the 6 geopolitical zone in Nigeria where people can come in with their health problem. We can bring in international international volunteers and come help people, give them joy, give them hope, and our country can be a safe haven in healthcare space. That's our vision and that's our goal, sir.
Excellent. Now, how can we translate this to educating the youth coming behind you? As you realize, the population keeps growing. The young ones have no education. The way the country is at the moment. How can we impact So think of this question this way. So you have possibilities of diaspora connections. How can we use that, the connections you're going to acquire from diaspora, use it with your knowledge to educate the young ones coming after you? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. A broader picture of.
I get you well, sir. I get you well, sir.
Please.
The elites in Nigeria has given Nigerians and young people what we call small money, and they take it as if it's big money. So you give somebody 5,000 to vote for you, and after 4 years you give them another 5,000 because we've not gotten the economic value and the educational impact to think by ourselves. What this opportunity will give us now is that we're going to be educating people about hard work, about principles of egalitarianism, principles of equity, of equality, compassion for your country. That if, as American would say, you don't think about what American will do for you, think about what we do for your country, so that we'll start getting the right people in the right places. Until the youth come together as a colossus and say, no, this governor is not our governor. This president is not our president. You have given us small money enough. Give us, who is going to give us education? Who's going to give us healthcare? And you look at their track record. You look at their quality of thought. They're speaking from their heart. They've been poor before. They understand the process of being poor to hard work and to not getting where they are today. So this education is going to impact on the youth, because mentoring is a problem, is a lack we have in Nigeria. Proper mentoring. People are not vulnerable because they have secrets how they made their money. Their money is not even clean, so they cannot openly mentor children, mentor young people. But with people like you, people in diaspora that have worked hard, you can give proper mentoring when people are vulnerable and telling you, it's not going to be very smooth, but you have to keep at it. You have to keep working at it. One day the breakthrough will come and you will yield your fruit. But hard work is a baseline for growth. It's important we're telling the people. That's why for me, sir, I go to churches, I go to mosques, I go to schools, I just motivate people. I tell them, Dr. Benjamin, I have a limp on my leg now. Normally, I should be depressed. That healthcare system in my country made me have a 1.5 legs. I used a cane for almost 4 years before I started working well again. I have a short limb, but I'll have been depressed by what my physical look is. But no, I took it as a point for me that let me transform that so to say problem into making people see that no, you must not get depressed about the situation. You look at the situation, look it in the face. With hard work and an assignment, we can change the healthcare space. We can change our country together, and it can become a safe haven for all of us. I'm glad, Mr. David, that you're coming to our aid now with this education. And I know with your collaboration, people can begin to see that with hard work, one day somebody will notice you from abroad, somebody will notice you from diaspora, and that can change your story entirely. Thank you, Mr. David.
You're absolutely right. Just speaking with you, this time last week, I was speaking with the coordinator of the Health in Nigeria scheme. Obviously the founder is in Canada, but he has a partner in Nigeria, in Lagos. I'm proud to say that I will definitely introduce you to them. I'm proud to say that this could be the start of a good I don't know how it will happen yet, but I know that Health for Nigeria and the BOF Foundation can definitely do something. Now, even if it means we start with one local community to achieve a purpose, spread the word in that community about people who have any fibroid issues, who have any what's the other one? Not lymphoma. You called it for me again.
Lipoma.
Yes, lipoma. Yeah, so they can come and be seen. The new Nigerian will help facilitate that. It will help. I know money is a very big thing, but even if it's 100,000 naira to get you people to that locale so you can see the people, the new Nigerian will be able to facilitate that. Within the next couple of weeks, I would have linked you guys up, and we can start a pet project in Edo State. I don't see any reason why we can't. I have a locale already that I'm thinking in mind that we can start with,
Wow.
and then we don't
Thank
know
you,
how
sir.
much
Thank you,
further
sir.
we can go, and I'm hoping
Thank you,
that
sir.
anybody, the doctors in diaspora, the doctors back home, who listen to this will take an interest in it and see about collaborating as well, because this is exactly what our people need. Hardworking, dedicated Nigerians, both in diaspora and in Nigeria, who are willing to give their time to educate them and to provide health care for them. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have achieved something in a locale, and we'll go further from there. I'm most grateful for your time. But before you go, I'd like to know a bit more about your home. The missus, how did you meet the missus? How many kids have you got? Um, you know, Tell us what you enjoy apart from the love you want to show to the people in healthcare. Tell us a bit more about you, your passions, what you
I
do for recreation.
I'm very happy about those questions, sir. So I would I want to thank God for my wife. You know, I met my wife in Kogi State. She was 7, and I was heartbroken because somebody that I was dating left me. I went to the UK. So, but and she also came into the hospital to see me. And when she walked into my office in the hospital, I was convinced that this lady looks like somebody that can take care of me. And I said to her, she also was heartbroken because she came into with a chest pain that I think I said this pain you're having is not a problem. Somebody broke your heart and it does not become a chest pain. She smiled and I said, we are both having chest pain and an outbreak. I think we can make it work out. And that was it. So in 3 months we dated and we're married. And it's the best decision I've made in my life. And she supported me. She goes to the outreach with us and see how because she's the secretary of the
Oh dear, it's frozen. Can you hear me? Oh no. Start from there.
okay, she's the secretary of the foundation. And I said the first day I told her about the foundation was on my sick bed after I had surgery on my legs. And I said to her that God has given us an assignment to go to villages for free surgeries. She said to me that whenever God gives you the vision, He will bring the provision. I'm with you 200%. I was shocked. You know, I thought she was going to tell me that where will you see money? Where will you see money? This kind of stuff is that. She supported me. Our first surgery was in Boko in Benue State. I went there with my crutches. Only 5 of us went. Only 5 of us. Me, my wife, one of my nurse, and 2 of my extra staff. And I did 33 surgeries in 3 days, myself alone. She said she has seen me grown in God. She's happy about me. So I'm in love with my family. We have we have 3 amazing kids, 10-year-old, 5-year-old, and just one. Our last son was born just 3 days ago on May 12th. So I watch. I'm an Arsenal fan, very Arsenal. Even though we're not playing well this time, I've been an Arsenal fan for like since 1991. So I'm addicted to watching Arsenal. That's how I relax most time. I watch Arsenal football on the go, online, and everything. And I like music a lot. I love music. I like to worship. One of the things we do is that, and whenever I'm operating the theater. I have a worship song that is always playing on repeat. It's a song by Nathaniel Bassey that talks that there's no mountain you cannot move. So I listen to music a lot, and that's how I relax. That's why I don't really get tired most times. I'm just happy to just keep helping people and impacting lives. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. I'm most grateful for your time, Dr. Benjamin Olowojebutu, if I pronounce that correctly. What does that mean, your
Yeah,
surname?
you tried, sir.
What does the
My father
surname
says
mean?
it means somebody that has money and that likes to share. It's not a kitty name,
Amen.
sir.
Amen. You're from Ekiti State, I take it then.
Yes, I'm from Ekiti State, sir.
Ekiti State is highly blessed. I went to Federal Government College, Idoani, and
Wow.
a lot of your Ekiti people are enlightened and well educated. In fact, the originator of the Health for Nigeria scheme went to Federal Government College Idoani as well. I have a feeling he's from Ekiti State as well, you
Wow.
know. I do hope that the government of Ekiti State knows and realizes they have people like you out there who they should harness rather than doing the irrelevant things. They should harness people like you. But I do hope by the time we finish editing this podcast and putting it out, there will be a major surge in outreach to you and to the foundation. And we can do testimonials of this on another program where I intend to get not just yourself, I intend to get other doctors as well who specialize in various other fields together and see if we can carry out a project. It will not be easy, but like you said, if the grace of God be upon us, and if it's the will of God, then we will succeed in doing these things for the people of Nigeria.
That's it.
You know,
That's it. That's it.
I'm most grateful for your time. I'm most grateful for your love. Not a lot of people show love like you've shown. It's our first time of meeting. It will not be the last. Long may we
Amen.
collaborate together. I have your phone number. Within the week, I'll speak with you definitely to let you know how we've gone, and then the link ups can start. Thank you very much for your time. My regards to your family. If
Very much,
there's
sir.
just
Grateful.
anything else you want to say to us before we let you go, please feel free. This is your opportunity again.
I, I want to say very big thank you, Mr. David Erabo, for allowing me to speak to you and speak to the world today. Because one of the things that I realized that people need to hear us speak about the good things happening in Nigeria. Most times, all we hear is the bad stuff, bad news. And my brother is a citizen of the UK. He has begged me to come to the UK and just leave Nigeria. I said no. I have an assignment to do in Africa, and until my assignment is done, I'm not done. So for me, it's about helping the Nigerian dream come true, helping Nigerian common people feel better, feel safe. I know that there's somebody looking after them in prayers, in thoughts, and in actions. So I'm grateful for you today, Mr. David, for allowing me to talk to you. I'm very, very humbled by your love. I'm very humbled by your confidence in what we're doing. I'm grateful that obviously God told me last year that our harvest will come in 2021, and this that's happening to us today is a testimony of what is God has said. Because I didn't know you from Adam, you know me from Adam. You just came to see what we're doing, and you loved it, and you reached out to us. Is a testament to what God is doing with the works we're doing. Love is the greatest currency you can spend. Money is just a perception. Keep showing love, keep preaching love, keep living love. Thank you very much, sir, and God bless you.
Thank you. You take care now, my brother. Take care now.
Yes, sir.
Bye for now.
Bye.